and it's going to be an exciting night for sure. So I look forward to hopefully running in the top 5. I've been finishing 6th every time I've raced this thing, it seems like. So if I'm 6th tonight, I'm just pulling in. I'm over it, right? But, you know, it's been fun racing the modifieds. Here's my dog right here. This is Club, so it is, you know, it's good. And like I said, it's nice to have 9 races here locally, so I hope all the other drivers that come out, you know, come check this place out. I encourage it. They're doing a lot of hard work, and we don't have a lot of speedways, right, that are, you know, on private property. Some are on fairgrounds and whatever else. So I know this one's here to stay for a long time, and obviously they're invested in it, and hopefully you kind of went around and shot all the different things they're doing, because, like I said, it's going to be the next best thing for sure. So
there it is, guys. This is Justin Crockett right here in his hometown, Santa Maria Speedway, man. Good luck tonight.
All right. Thanks, man. Look forward to hopefully you're saying my name tonight.
Yes, absolutely. See you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Kid's been a terror so far. All last year, he's done a fantastic job driving tracks all over the place, winning everywhere you go. Man, you've been so successful. What's kind of the secret to your success?
Maintenance, keeping everything clean, making sure I'm not working on dirty shit. Bearings, I don't know, just making sure it's rolling good. But other than that, Chris Stevenson, he helps a lot. My dad, he's always in the shop. Just got a good support team around me, and it helps me out quite a bit.
So what have you done so far here in 2026 this season? Have you ran 4 or 5 races so far?
I think I might have ran six or something. I've ran more than 6. I got 3 wins though. I won twice at Bakersfield and then one at Tulare, but there wasn't many cars there. Right now we're struggling though, so we're trying to get the car back under us and see if we can't get any better here tonight.
So what do you expect here tonight? The track's going to be pretty heavy, a little slick. Right now, Robbie's got this place dialed in. I know you came to practice. How did the track feel at practice?
It was really smooth. Yeah, if you can keep it smooth and it starts to slick off, it'll be pretty good. But right now, we just got to hope this rain holds off a little bit. And if it does, I think it'll be a good race tonight. We'll probably have around 30 mods is what I'm guessing. So
that's what it looks like. These pits are nice and full right here for the first stock car race of the season here at Santa Maria Speedway, man. We're excited to have you. Good luck, and hopefully we'll have that conversation on Victory Lane.
Heck yeah, thank you, John.
All right, see you guys. What's up, everybody? Season opener for the stock cars here at Santa Maria Speedway, and we got T-Van, dude. You made the jump to A-Mods, and it's been successful so far. You know, right out of the box, the car's been fast. We've already got some wins here in 2026, dude. Talk about the modified program.
Yeah, really not much to expect when we were going into it. Just kind of playing the whole rookie role, even though you consider me not a rookie, but rookie to me, A-Mod wise, and just seeing what we could do with it. But season's actually been going way better than we expected. I've had 2 wins so far out of, I think, maybe the 9 starts I've had, and a lot of seconds, you could say that. And so been runner-up a few times, but yeah, it's one of them rookie seasons so far that, you know, it just keeps getting better, and hopefully we can carry the momentum. We got the win last week at Kern, and hopefully we can keep the speed up and maybe see what we can do tonight.
This thing, you know, beautiful looking car, same Victory Circle chassis with Stevenson's parts on all corners. So who else helps you on this 51 machine? I know you got a lot of sponsors, a lot of help to make the jump into the big class.
Yeah, like you said, Victory Circle, they help out a lot. Chris Stevenson, suspension. He helps out a ton. Tomcat Performance, Noonan Industries, Dynamic Drive Lines, Hyperco Springs, I think it's the Tomcat.
Yeah.
Tomcat, Weir's Machine, Performance Muffler and Brakes, Skinny, Mom and Dad especially. If it wasn't for them, this all wouldn't be even be a possibility to do. My crew that always helps me. I think I got the girlfriend working at night, so got her at it tonight, and yeah, a lot of people have put this piece out here to run circles and look good for the fans.
Awesome. And how many races do you plan on running this year?
As much as I can, honestly. I know it's kind of far-fetched to say, but we run the Rookie National and the Sport mod, so not that we're kind of going for it, but we're in the running for it for the mod. Just kind of play race by race is what we're doing, and if we can maybe do that as well, that'd be a nice little nail on the hammer, and say I can do it in both divisions would be cool. But run as much as I can locally around here, mainly here, Kern and Merced as best as we can, and see what we can do for the season.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck in the 2026 season. Good luck here tonight, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? We're here at Santa Maria Speedway. We got Brian Baker, man. You guys are coming 3 cars deep here tonight. It's going to be a fantastic night, fantastic show, as long as we can get it in.
Yeah.
So, man, it's great to see you back out at the track.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. We took some time off just to kind of recoup and kind of just reevaluate our program and just kind of slowly ease back into it. Santa Maria is a place that we've always ran pretty well at, so we got a couple, I think 3 or 4 wins here last year. So ran good at Kern last weekend as a good shakedown to get back into the cars and back here again.
So your guys' camp here, I see you got yourself, your brother, and
Nick Spainhoward.
Nick Spainhoward?
Yeah, so Nick Spainhoward drives the 40 for us. It's actually my brother's car. He owns that one, and Adam will be in the 17A tonight. So should have a good field of cars, and like I said, as long as we keep the rain away, it'll be a good time. It's a fast place, nice facility. So
yeah, talk about the kind of stuff that they're changing here, man. What do you see as a driver that they're really putting into this place?
So I've seen this place through 10 different owners and track, promoters in the last 20 years I've been racing. So this is probably the best this facility has ever looked. I know they've put a lot of money where the track needed it, the grandstands, the concessions, the pits, and then the track prep as well. Robbie Claiborne's been doing the track. This place has been phenomenal. There's places where I've raced where, it's comparable. And this place, in the last few races I've ran here, has been the best. So I love the fans here. I love the atmosphere that this place has, and I think it'll be good for the sport on the West Coast. So.
Awesome. Yeah, and make sure you tell your family, your friends, everybody, they can watch it free.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, my platform, Santa Maria Speedway, and flowroad.co. So.
Yeah, we got everybody we shared that post around. We're big on social media, so we try to get that stuff spread around and stuff. So we did share that link around. If you guys are out there, get on there, watch it, and check it out.
There it is. All right. Brian, good luck tonight.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
See you out there.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? Your boy John Candy. We're here at Santa Maria Speedway. We're kicking off the 2026 season for the stock car classes. So we got Ricky Childress Jr. here, man. So far, it's been a great 2026. What are you looking forward here at Santa Maria Speedway?
Well, we've been pretty successful at Kern. We won 4 out of 5 there. Been out of town twice and ain't had too good of luck out of town. So here we are tonight trying to change that luck.
So what do you think? Have your program has changed at all in maintenance and setup and stuff, or you kind of run the same thing when you come out to the track? Being so successful, you probably don't change too much.
Actually, last week at Bakersfield was the first time in probably 5 years that I've changed anything different. Worked out all right, so we brought that over here to the coast, and a little cool weather and a little moisture. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, so what do you think about this? We're not going to say the R word right now, but right now the track looks perfect. Robbie's done a fantastic job. So you think the track's going to get heavy as the day goes on, the night goes on?
Just depends on how much of precipitation we get and how heavy. I think if the cars stay on the track and it's light like this, light mist, we'll be fine. I think the show will get in.
Awesome. Well, make sure you tell all your family, all your friends. They can watch this stuff on flowroad.co. They can watch it on my YouTube, John Candy Live. They can watch it on Santa Maria Speedway YouTube. All 3 platforms tonight. So make sure they like, comment, subscribe, tell all your family and friends, and we'll have your racing action free here at Santa Maria Speedway.
Most definitely. Give them a like and follow, and we'll go from there.
There it is. All right. Ricky Childress.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, everybody, we had a couple of Bakersfield guys. Now let's get into the Santa Maria, the local guy, man. Justin Crockett, the season, the debut of 2026, and this nice piece right here. What are you looking forward to here at the track, this season?
It's nice to have our home track looking this good, right? They put a lot of money into it. I think it's going to be a great season. The owner of the Speedway is a great guy, brings in a lot of sponsorship. I think they got the track prep figured out. So I love it. I only live 7 minutes from here, so we can hang out after the races, drink a couple beers, and have some fun,
Awesome. Yeah, so so talking about the track prep with Robbie, last year it was right towards the end of the season, man, the track was just muddy. He had a perfect, and it looks, the first race, it looked much of the same, nice and slick, up to a curb, and it's gonna be nice all season long. So as a driver, what does that mean to you, especially if guys want to travel?
That's the thing. I think guys think of Santa Maria being rough. Robbie's got this place dialed in. So, it's been smooth the last couple times that we've been out here. So, it means a lot. As long as we keep, Robbie happy and prepping the track, you're going to see a lot of good racing. I think this is going to be one of the, top tracks for California for sure. So.
Yeah, all the things they're doing here, the fan experience down here in the pits, that's the cool, unique thing. It's kind of cool to see, all the new spins and all the twists that Pat and the crew here are putting together for the fans and for the racers and everything else.
Yeah, and I think there's more to come, right? I mean, he's got a lot of great ideas, and I did a lot of the sign work out here, so I kind of know what's going on. And he's definitely about the experience for the little kids. Tonight I think they got if you wear your jersey, you get in for free. So, if you play sports. So that's super, super neat, and a lot of great ideas, and that's what we need, right? We need to get the younger generation back into racing, and I think doing stuff like that is going to help that. So
it's been amazing, man. I did the last few races here, and just to see all the interaction that they have with the fans, and just how many fans you guys have out here. And it's not necessarily just hardcore racing fans. Just like you have families out here that are just. It's amazing the vibes and everything that this place was producing, and it's the first race of the season. There were so many people here. It was it was great. with this many cars, the fans have to be packed tonight.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I was up there checking in, and I was walking down, and I saw Bobby Hogue. Right, I'm like, man, that's pretty neat to see Bobby Hogue come here. You have the 22 car from Nevada that showed up. So I think it's kind of the word's getting out, right? And people are showing up, and it's good to have a good car count, because without a car count, right, there's not a race, and then the fans get bored. So they're doing everything right, and it's going to be an exciting night for sure. So I look forward to hopefully running in the top 5. I've been finishing 6th every time I've raced this thing, it seems like. So if I'm 6th tonight, I'm just pulling in. I'm over it, right? But it's been fun racing the modifieds. Here's my dog right here. This is club, so it is. It's good. And like I said, it's nice to have 9 races here locally. So I hope all the other drivers that come out, come check this place out. I encourage it. They're doing a lot of hard work, and we don't have a lot of speedways, right, that are on private property. Some are on fairgrounds and whatever else. So I know this one's here to stay for a long time, and obviously they're invested in it. And hopefully you kind of went around and shot all the different things they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like I said, it's going to be the next best thing for sure. So
there it is, guys. This is Justin Crockett right here in his hometown, Santa Maria Speedway, man. Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, man. Look forward to hopefully you're saying my name tonight.
Yes, absolutely. See you guys.
All right, thank you.
The engine's quiet, but the night ain't done. Yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, the engine's quiet. Yeah, engine's quiet, but the night ain't done. Dust still hanging from the last run. Lights still glow on this dirt and steel. You can feel it coming, yeah, it's real. Take a breath, but don't go far. This is racing under California stars. Santa Maria, hear that sound? We're just getting ready for the next round. This is where the horsepower lives, where the throttle roars and the driver gives everything they got, every inch, every lap, no looking back. Just full attack, Santa Maria. Light it up tonight, side by side under those Friday lights. From the green to the checkered flag, this is dirt track racing. Fast and bad. Fast and bad. From the tires to the fuel to the steel and the frame, it takes a crew and a name behind every name. Local shops, hometown pride, keeping these machines alive. From the pits to the stands, they're part of the show. Every lap you see, they help it go. So take a look, yeah, you know the deal. These are the names that make it real. This is where the horsepower lives, where the throttle roars and the driver gives everything they got, every inch, every lap, no looking back. Just for that Santa Maria. Light it up tonight, side by side under those Friday lights. Feel the ground shake, hear the crowd. Listen, brought to you by Fire It Up! Woo! Woo! Fire it up, we're coming back strong. Engine scream won't be long. Next green flag, next showdown. Santa Maria, shut it down. Dirt flies high, champions rise. You're watching greatness under these skies. So don't blink now, don't miss a lap. We're coming back. Get ready for that. Stay tuned. Stay loud.
What's up, everybody? We're right here with G-Money Gavin Manning. Man, this kid's been a terror so far. All last year, he's done a fantastic job driving tracks all over the place, winning everywhere you go. Man, you've been so successful. What's kind of the secret to your success?
Maintenance, keeping everything clean, making sure I'm not working on dirty shit. Bearings, I don't know, just making sure it's rolling good. But other than that, Chris Stevenson, he helps a lot. My dad, he's always in the shop. Just got a good support team around me and it helps me out quite a bit.
So what have you done so far here in 2026 this season? Have you ran 4 or 5 races so far?
I think I might have ran six or something. I've ran more than 6. I got 3 wins though. I won twice at Bakersfield and then one at Tulare, but there wasn't many cars there. Right now we're struggling though, so we're trying to get the car back under us and see if we can't get any better here tonight.
So what do you expect here tonight? The track's going to be pretty heavy, a little slick. Right now, Robbie's got this place dialed in. I know you came in practice. How did the track go in practice?
It was really smooth. Yeah, if you can keep it smooth and it starts to slick off, it would be pretty good. But right now, we just got to hope this rain holds off a little bit. And if it does, I think it'll be a good race tonight. We'll probably have around 30 mods is what I'm guessing. So
that's what it looks like. These pits are nice and full right here for the first stock car race of the season here at Santa Maria Speedway, man. We're excited to have you. Good luck, and hopefully we'll have that conversation on Victory Lane.
heck yeah, thank you, John.
All right, see you guys. What's up, everybody? Your boy John Candy. We're back here in the studio. We're here with my boy, this guy I looked up to him my entire childhood. Worked on his hot rod from about 10 years old on to about 18 when I got left the house, man. We got Jerry Stewart in the house, man. Welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. We're excited. We got Santa Maria coming up this week. I thought this would be a perfect week to bring you on. Tri-State Pro Stocks. You've been in that division for about, 6 years now?
Yeah,
like that?
so, yeah.
So they're going to be at Santa Maria Speedway, and you know what? We're just going to kick it off real quick. Just tell people, kind of your history about Santa Maria. You've been there a long time.
Yeah.
Long time racer. Kind of, where did it start in the beginning, and then evolved into where, and then tell us how it started.
Yeah, and I actually started a long time ago, I think 83, I believe. I rented a car from my buddy, Street Stock, and rented it for 2 races. Rained out the first one, so I got it for 1 race, and decided I didn't like it after that. To be honest with you, it was a big Olds 442, and once I got on it finally in the heat race and got full speed going, we forgot we were supposed to check tire pressures on the thing. And we had the load pressures on it, so we had 42 pounds of air pressure across the whole thing. And I hit the wall head on going in turn 3. Hard enough to turn the battery upside down, and sparks were flying and shit. And so that was the end. And I said, okay, that's good. Glad we tried it. Didn't hurt the car at all. I think I hurt the wall more than anything with that big thing. But so I said, that's cool. We're done. About a year later, got the itch to try it again. Maybe with the white tire pressures, I might enjoy it a little bit better. So me and my Uncle Gene, we went in halves on a street stock, bought a trailer, little chicken shit open trailer, and went out there and tried it again, and really enjoyed it a lot more that way. Saying not trying to go out there and then get my 1 week's worth of race out of it in one deal. So it's progressed from that point on.
So you were the first one in the family to start racing. Like dad didn't race.
My dad raced, I guess, back in the in the 50s. Seen a few pictures of his stuff back. When it might have been in the 40s. It might have because they wore the leather helmets.
Heavy. The old brain bucket.
Yeah, and so it was the old, the jalopy ones with no front fenders on it. Like the 38 Fords and shit. But yeah, no, he raced, and then I had an uncle. His oldest brother was a real good dirt racer. He raced in Texas, and he won 3 championships in 1 year, 3 different tracks. And he rebuilt his own engines in his living room, and that guy was a hell of a shoe and a hell of a mechanic. And he raced several years down there. But after my dad, raced way before I was born, he just started taking me to the racetrack when I was, a month old or whatever. So I grew up out there at Santa Maria Speedway. Grew up out there, and then when I got about 15, riding my bike back and forth from home to school, I heard a race engine running, and I cruised down the street, and it was a guy that I watched race out there in late models, and rolled up there on my bike and got the bullshit with him. And they say, no, I'm kind of the guy that's there, after school, helping to clean the tires and clean the car up a little bit, and hung out there for quite a while to the point I actually became on a pit crew going to the races and shit. Then it was over from that point on.
Got the hook.
It was hooked, and then and then about 5 years later, I was racing late models, racing against them.
Wow! So you were racing late models by the age of 20?
Yeah. See, so I raced. Well, I don't know what year it was. I see 87. I was racing street stock still. 89, I was rookie of late models. So I think 88, half of 88, I ran late models and streets. So yeah, I was about 21, I guess probably. I was the youngest late model driver. I know that. I was most of them were Danny Simpkins and Brian Whitford and Bill Cavanaugh and Bob Othout and all those guys. Just been running out there forever. So I was definitely the young one there.
So did you get Rookie of the Year that year? Because you've had a very prolific career.
Yeah, I got Rookie of the Year. And what I say it was 89. I was Rookie of the Year, I guess. And then we got that Food for Less sponsor, and I got a good crew and real good crew. And we built a nice big trailer and shit and a dually and kind of became a team type of deal. Yeah, then we had a lot of success, winning Porterville and Bakersfield and Hanford, the big races and stuff. And yeah, I had a great run quite a while, late models.
So even back in the day when you guys had, so what did it take? Did it take the same kind of thing to get the big corporate sponsor? Because I see Food for Less to be a corporate type of sponsor, kind of local, but still a local level. That may be the local corporate kind of sponsor.
And it wasn't big money by no means, but it looked very professional. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing is, they'd give me bags of candy, the bulk candy to give out to the kids after. So quickest way to get about 300 or 400 fans real quick.
Exactly.
But that was kind of cool, and everybody could relate to it. With the number 4, that's how we presented to them. Food with a 4 less. That's the way their logo was. So that was very cool. We had a good time with that.
So, I mean, we're going to be bouncing back and forth because
Sure.
I want to talk about, how it is now and how it was back then. But, that's kind of what it's kind of going back to now, what they're doing now at Santa Maria Speedway, bringing all the fans back and doing all this stuff. It's stuff like that. He said, bringing 300 fans, but just tossing out candy.
Big deal, yeah.
They are doing their key number one thing is fan experience. It's
absolutely
the fan experience. They want, that they want to have
Yep.
the candy to throw out. They give out a bike. Santa Maria, Toyota of Santa Maria sponsors a bike every week. Sometimes other sponsors will come on. They'll bring a bike. Racers, they brought bikes out. So there'll be 2, 3, 4 bikes that they give out every night out there.
Yep.
And they throw the candy. They do all that. I mean, it's so huge. I don't know if tracks have got away from that, but back in the day, it seems like there was so much fan interaction.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Well, they used to have the junior fan club. I don't know if they have that anymore.
That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is, yeah.
For a long time, they went without it. But when they used to have it, man, that was a big deal. I was even part of the junior fan when I was young. Yeah, and, they give out different prizes, but the ultimate prize was if, you get to ride with your favorite driver, a lap around the deal and you picture by him. I never won that. That's one thing I never won. I think I won a bike. I think I won, Frisbee, just stupid stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, never got that one ride. But, anyway, when they did that, that was always a big deal for the kids. They gave them a little trophy, a picture by you afterward, but you got to give them one lap around the racetrack, and that's a big deal. I don't know if they do that anymore, but with insurance nowadays. But I mean, it sure was a cool deal. I mean, like Josh Vogt, man. I mean, he picked me as his favorite, and he won that deal I think twice. And we got pictures of him down there with me with the car. Next thing you know, man, he's one of the top IMCA drivers.
Yeah.
Down there,
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that's cool about stuff like this, is maybe things that we haven't heard about or talked about or seen for years and years and years. We get to talk about it and be like, oh, shoot, let's put that back. Let's get that back.
I agree with you 100%.
Put that back in the atmosphere. And
it worked then.
And that's kind of the thing. Vintage stuff always comes back, right, Rick? Shitty, terrible pants that Bill bottoms. They made their way back.
History repeats itself, right? Yeah.
I mean,
it's about the dolphin shorts. I wish they'd come back.
So, I mean, it's just, putting that stuff back out there. It's like, man, we kind of forgot about that. Let's bring them back.
I agree.
But they have the Santa Maria Speedway Junior Fan Club. I haven't seen, what it is in total because I just did the last few races at Santa Maria, just to get a kind of a taste of it, and just couldn't be more excited to be there full time this year. This is going to be
awesome.
It's going to be great. So,
yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that. So back to your kind of early days. So the 89 was the rookie of the year. 90, you guys had a fairly successful year.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't remember what we've done throughout the deals. We had several top 5 finishes in the championship. Back then they gave you they gave you a driver, mirrored plaques, and I think it's Blue Heart used to do those, or somebody used to really do a nice job, where they do the framed mirror and your pictures through the mirror, and you'd have one for driver and car, for the driver and the car owner type deal, and points. And as you got closer to the championship, they got bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that was always a very cool deal. But no, we did all right. I mean, like I said, I think I got second to Danny Simpkins in '93. And then 94, I won the championship and won the first 5 races out of the season. One of them was the Simpkins Memorial, the very first Simpkins Memorial. That was back when they had the triple 33s. They used to call it the low Indy or whatever, but that was very cool setup racing. And we won that the first year and was leading the third part of that one deal and got to go out by a lap car. And then the next year we won the first one, I think, again, and then I'd sandbag. So they'd invert the field completely. You qualified how you started, and then if you won the first one, you had to start dead last. So when I'd start dead last, I'd run a couple laps and pull in. I started on the front row of the last one. So that's why I damn near won the first and the second, but the first and the third one 2 years in a row, other than it wasn't for a lap car taking me out both times. But
so you're talking about the format for that race.
For that format, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Well, I mean, that's what it used to be, really. Well, it used to be with, like, when the street stocks, when we raced street stocks, we'd have, 19, 20 cars every night, and it went by point earned average.
Yep.
So Robert Matthews would start 20th every time. I would start 19th or 18th every time. And that's just, the way it worked. But, man, I tell you what, that taught you how to get through traffic, without tearing your shit up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they award you fast time, you start up front, and and you win your heat race, you start up front. You don't do a lot of passing until slap cars.
Right. IMCA still does do that with the modified sport mods. Their format is point earned average, but to 12.
But 12, okay.
So I mean, but still, if you're gonna show up to a weekly race, it's your first time there, your point earned average, you can't get better than 12. So
right.
So that's kind of how those, like, you'll see, a modified race with 15, 20 guys, and you've got like 3 outsiders that show up no matter what. They're starting.
Yeah.
Starting scratch of 12th,
right.
as long as they make that invert.
Right.
So, but there's a happy medium there.
Yeah, no, there is.
You get a bit of both. You still got to pass cars to get up there and get through the process.
Right.
But that's what Bakersfield, they ran point earned average for all their classes, because I mean, I think it just made sense to have that kind of format over,
point earned average top 12 invert though.
Yeah,
right?
top 12 invert.
Right. Yeah.
So
it was complete invert back then. It was a big
wild.
Starting 18th or 19th every night.
Yeah.
And
but
it took you the whole 25 laps to get your ass up there in top 3, 4.
That goes back to the same thing. Is is that something we're missing today? To watch these drivers. I mean, I know as a driver, there's 2 ends of it. As a driver, you don't want to tear your shit up. You don't want to go out there. Right. You don't want to try to pass 20 cars.
Right.
You don't want to. I mean, you got to hustle, burn up your tires, burn up everything, waste a lot of time, money, energy, just to get up there for a chance to win, just so you can go back next week and start back there all over again.
But for the fans aspect of it, like you watch the Lucas Oil or the World Outlaw late models, you qualify good, that pretty much dictates your whole night. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Top 2 of the heat race gets the redraw, and that just, jumps around your top 8. But if you get fast time, you start pulling the heat race, you win your heat race, you got a chance to run the pole or 8th. No matter what, you're in pretty good shape. So that kind of gets boring in a way. You get Davenport or Bobby Pierce or somebody, that starts off up front there, that's pretty much over,
Yeah.
So both aspects,
Yeah, it's who do you please?
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, car counts ain't high enough nowadays. You're not going to start too far back anyway.
Yeah. So 94 was your first championship, right?
Yeah.
So how many championships do you have at Santa Maria Speedway?
1 at Santa Maria, and then I got 2 of the California Late Model Series championships, and then I got 2 Bud Nationals.
What's up, everybody? Your boy John Candy. We're here at the Santa Maria. What's up, everybody? Your boy John Candy. We're here at the Santa Maria Speedway. We're kicking off the 2026 season.
Macon Hanford, and then the Budweiser Veterans Day Porterville deal. I won that once, I believe. Had it won a couple other times, but man, we had some bad luck there towards the end. I mean, on a red flag, and somebody comes out of the pits and doesn't see the red flag, and barrel rolls in over in and lands on my car in second. Stuff like that. So I had great luck the first couple of years I was there, and then from that point on, it's like I ain't going back. There's something wrong here.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So what's bigger in your heart? The championship. I mean, that's got to be right. Fought hard the whole time. Like you earned that championship over the big wins. But the big wins
are great, man.
Yeah,
they really are. But championship, you got to at least get the one, because that year I won the championship. I won 5 or 6 main events that year. So I mean, we really we ran good that year. So the wins mean a lot, and then you get the championship, that's even better. But nowadays we're so spread apart between the races. We're not running like we did back then. Santa Maria, we used to run 16 or 18 races on a regular season, and then we could run about 6 or 7 of them in Bakersfield also on the other night. So it wasn't nothing to run 22, 23 races a year between the 2 tracks.
Right.
I haven't ran. I mean, I run maybe 4 races a season. You know, unless I want to travel to Petaluma or Grass Valley or Quincy or South, up in Oregon. It's a lot of traveling, so I don't get to run all that much. So now it'd be more important to me to get the wins. You know what I mean?
Right. So I mean, with the Pro Stock division now, how it is these days. I mean, seems like there's 5 different kinds of Pro Stocks on the West Coast. Like you can run a big tire, you can run a small tire, you can run a big motor, you can run a small motor, you can run this, that, the other. Like some sanctions don't let other sanctions cars run together, and it's like
they let everybody run. That's why Tri-States, they have somewhere in a roll package anybody can run. They don't want to turn no one away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they did it, because they got turned away from the Bud Nationals when it was a West Coast Pro, whatever it was out here, West Coast Pro Stocks or Western Pro Stocks, whatever it was, a few years ago. You had to follow that rule identical. So the Paris cars, anyone from north wasn't allowed to come down unless they adopted the rules, and that's why that guy up there, he decided to make it so guys from Nevada, or Oregon, or California, or Southern California, anyone could run together. And so they done a pretty good job doing it too. I mean, you look at the rule package, you wouldn't think it would even work, but it's pretty damn competitive. There's pretty much somebody from each class is competitive, so you can't say it doesn't work.
Right. So yeah, because I see, predominantly there's big tire cars, probably more often than not. But then you got guys like Brian Smith, Chris Smith, they're running the G6.
They're running most of them with small tires.
Yeah.
But with that small tires, you get such a weight break, and your engine's set back 12 inches, like a modified. That's a big difference.
Right.
That's a huge difference from our motors being in stock location. They have to put 100 pounds on the front of that shit. Well, if you want to set your motor back 2 inches, that 100 pounds isn't worth it. If you set your motor back 12 inches, that 100 pounds, you don't even know it. Right. I mean? And but man, they guys make those small tires work. Period. When I run with them, I got the big ass tires, and the J bar, and shit like that, and they're especially on dry slick. It's amazing how a tire that small could run that good to a big ass tire like that. But my wheels and tires, a 10-inch wheel bead lock with a late model tire, is so stupid heavy, and that's sprung, that's rotating, and that's a big difference.
Right.
Big difference. Now I qualify top qualifier usually everywhere we go. I'm usually fast for qualifier, because at that point is when you're hooking it up and those tires and everything work good. When it gets dry slick, that sprung weight and that rotating weight is definitely against you.
Mm-hmm.
Plus they got their shit figured out very well. No matter whether they run, they're fast. So that just proves though that's a totally different class than my class. As far as the rules, are right there. We're both right there. You got Dutton with his deal. Dutton and I are on the same package.
Mm-hmm. So do you guys have? So is it true? Because I've been guilty of saying it's like, hell, that's just an old late model from 2003. Is it?
That's what mine is. These stock front clip deals are like the 1990s late models, stock front stereo box and everything. But you got Smiths and some of those guys. They've got the modified chassis. With the motor sitting back so far, it's nothing like a late model,
right?
But mine is actually. It's a Shaw late model, actually, what it is. I think I even heard it was a Shaw asphalt car at one time till Gunslinger up there in Reno. Those guys converted
back in off.
They converted and they built some pretty cool cars. That Antonio up there at Reno, he has one like mine. He's fast everywhere he goes too. So it's amazing because they're heavy. They're the big tube, the big tube roll bars and.
Extra safe. We'll just call them extra safe.
Yeah, they're extra safe. They're extra heavy. But it's pretty much like my late model was in the 90s. Because the late models in the 90s, except for we didn't run 3 bars back then. We ran the monolith, And but other than that, shit, the rear ends and the J bar and pole bar. We can't run a pole bar like late model, but we run at least the top bar.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. It reminds me a lot of late model. With the big tires on it. I don't like the feel of these things with the 8-inch wheels and tires. I really don't. I just don't like it.
So what kind of kept you? You've always stayed in the stock car realm. Like I've kind of wondered, when the late models went away, and the next premier thing was IMCA late model or IMCA modified.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of kept you from going in that modified world?
Well, I tried to modify. I've always wanted to try a modified. They look like a lot of fun. They're kind of on the loose side and everything. And when Lee Jensen got me in a ride on one for a open show at Bakersfield, the one that Gary Dutton was driving on a regular basis.
That old Dave's Fabrication 222 and 223.
So what was it? It was Big Daddy's car.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I don't know, but anyway, so he got me a ride in it, and I thought, oh hell yeah! But then, like the day before, I found out it was an open deal. We could run billboards. Sideboards.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I had the sideboard off my posse car. I said, well, fuck, let's put those on there, right? Well, then I wasn't driving a modified. I was driving a damn late model because you don't lift full blast.
Right.
Take the roof off of it, and we put as much stagger in it, and went out there and was flying, man, was running away with the heat race by like a half a lap lead at the white flag. I blew the motor up because it was starving it, going to the corner. And it blew up going to turn 1, and I coasted all the way around in second place, passed me by a half a car length at the checker. So much lead we had. I felt like shit. I blew the guy's motor up, but they were so happy how fast that thing ran. It didn't bother them at all. They were just happy it ran so good. But that's the closest I've ever come to running a mod. I never got in another one after that. So I don't know. I never liked the claimer deal.
Yeah.
Not being an engine builder, it never made sense to me.
Right.
You guys that know how to build their own engines or whatever, it made a little more sense. But not with me. It never did.
Well, when you got to drop, I mean, even back then, even shoot in the mid 2000s, you're still spending 35 plus on an open, good open motor, even modified ruled motor.
And they could claim it for $350 back then. I mean, that didn't make no sense.
Yeah, $350 in your motor.
That also should have been a swap.
Well,
you can win it back then. One time it wasn't even swap.
Oh, really?
You just take your damn motor.
Oh, for that. Yeah.
You got a wagon. You take it home a wagon, and you won them in a minute. But but they made it better as they go for the years. Then it was a swap, whatever. Then it wasn't bad because the guy could finish up there enough to claim for you. He's pretty decent,
right?
So you didn't.
Because you had to be top 4, right?
I think so.
The guys that finished on the top 4 on the tech pad or whatever, they had the opportunity.
And you're a good car if you finish top 4 if it's any kind of field.
Right.
If you went somewhere like Ventura where they only had 6 cars or something like that,
Right.
You could be lapped 5 laps down and get 4th,
And then you're over there claiming.
He's got a badass motor and you're
Dalton's freaking.
You got his smog legal motor. But no, that's the only reason that kept me away from it a long time ago. I've always liked the late also.
Yeah. So can you feel the difference now? I mean, technology's come a long ways. I know it's kind of basically the same chassis from like 03, 04 to what it is now. You're basically running the same tire, so it has the involvement of shocks and springs and all that kind of technology. Does it make the car feel that much different?
Well, yeah. I mean, like I was up until a year and a half ago, I was running junk shocks. I mean, the shocks that I had from my late models from the early '90s. I'd have a gas one, an oil one. I'd have an AFCO. I'd have a Pro. I'd have all this different shit, and was running damn good. But the top guys were running Severson shocks, his awesome shock package. And so finally, Pounds talked me into doing that. Last year, I think it was last year. Man, you got to get the shocks, man. You're getting beat by the shocks. So I bought the shocks, and man, I could tell a difference then.
Yeah,
I really could tell a difference then. It's just so much more consistent, and yeah, so that definitely makes a difference. And that's a hell of a shock rule we still have. Still has to be a steel shock. It can't have a reservoir on it like the high dollar ones that we have in the late models. But yeah, no, you definitely feel the difference.
So that's one thing that I watch podcasts of racers and all this stuff, and I've heard like that one of the number one things is like you got nothing if you ain't got shocks. If you don't got shocks, like that's like.
Some people believe in that. Some people believe in that though. But like the late model shock that I have, that son of a bitch. And at the time they were $10,000 for the shocks, and they had that reservoir, and you have compression adjustment and rebound adjustment. A lot of them, and I don't like a lot of choices. I will screw myself up a lot of choices. We never been one to adjust our bars on 4 bars and shit. When we get the track, we don't adjust nothing. We really don't. We put fuel on it. I might put a couple turns in it, in or out of it in the rear if it changes. But this car here is the most easy car to drive and the most consistent car to drive. And I can run up against the wall. I can run on the bottom. I can run both. I don't have to set up to do any of that stuff. So, but guys that believe in that shock stuff, they dial themselves out more than they dial themselves in.
Really?
They've kind of gone away from that, I believe, than they were at one time with, they're adjusting shocks in between every time they go on the racetrack. Well, the track changes every corner.
Right.
The track's changing all the time. I thought you got to just adapt to the track changing rather than trying to adapt to a track changing and the setup you guys just put in it.
Right.
Man, we pitted next to at one time. I think we was in a Rayburn, and the Rayburn was a swing arm. We didn't have a lot of setups on that thing. And we pit next to Devin Crockett, and he had that. I think he got that GRT from Fry. I think it was, and that thing had more adjustments I've ever seen. I mean, it had adjustments like every half-inch increments. And we're pitting next to each other. And we went out there, we got fast time, we won the heat. And in the main event, that's when our damn oil plug from our 5th stage of the dry sump came out. But in between races, he was changing wheel offsets. He was adjusting his J-bar. He was adjusting all of his deal. I'm not sure if he didn't change his headers to tune his motor. But he changed so much shit, and we just leaned against eating corn dogs, watching them guys work the whole time. And after that night, he traded that sucker for a Rayburn because he just if you don't have a lot of setups, you can't mess with it.
Right.
And like I said, I don't like choices. I'll screw it up. I have a choice.
So I mean, I know you've had a few chassis. I know you had the Masterbuilt at one time. Did you had the Rayburn? Did you ever have a GRT?
I had a GRT, not for very long. I had a GRT I bought from Pounds, a bare chassis that Skinny and Roy and I put together in 1 month. It was a bare chassis. Changed it over. I had number 1 on it. We put number 1 on it. And we won a couple of races with that one too, but nothing like that Rayburn. That Rayburn, they say it's an old man car. And it's because somebody's so easy to drive.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets dry slick, you're kind of out to lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't
That's
have
a 4-bar.
technology to get that thing in.
If it's rough and hooked up, man, they're fast.
Yeah.
And that one race that I won, it was a really rough track. It was a rough hooked up track, Santa Maria. We broke the transmission. After qualifying, and so I didn't run the heat. I was just going to start the main event to get my start money. So we didn't put fuel on it or nothing. And the guys had to push me out on the racetrack because all I had was high.
Uh-huh.
And so anyway, they pushed me out on the racetrack. And I said, we'll be all right. I'll just run a couple laps. As long as we don't have a couple restarts, a red flag and none. We had 2 red flags in that main event. We don't hardly ever have red flags, right? So I had to stop up. I had to stop up on the top of the bank, and so I could roll myself down and try to get to going. And we did. No, the first time it wouldn't start, so and I was up to 5th. I planned on only just running a couple laps, but I was passing them like crazy because the 4-bar cars were lifting their front end up, setting them down. I was going right through it. So I got myself up to 4th or 5th, and they had another red. So I parked up higher on the track. When they let us go, I rolled it down, and it was just like this. And the guy had his hand up in the air ready to call the tow truck again to get me pushed again, and it fired up. So I got to keep my spot. And we won that sucker. And Barrel was so fast, but he was jumping all 4 wheels off the ground. And I was going through the ruts, and it was so smooth. And we ended up winning that thing. And then when we won, I'm thinking, shit, we didn't be fueling this thing, man. I'm probably going to be light. So when they came up to the car to celebrate, I said, do not hit the car. Because Skinny always goes, you'll bang that sucker. Don't knock
the blood off it.
Don't knock the blood off this sucker, man. And so they interviewed me and everything, and it was all cool and shit. But then we had to push it over the scales, and I just knew I was going to be light. And the guy looked at it full. Okay, you're good. Oh, man, that hell of a relief. Like I said, we didn't plan on going out there, but man, as good as we ran, and to win it, to take it away from me, it'd be terrible.
Oh yeah.
But that Rayburn was awesome. That Rayburn was such an easy driving car, but not at Bakersfield when you get smooth, slick, junk. Just can't do it.
So what years did you win the Bud Nationals?
I won it in '94, the year I won the championship. That's the year I won the Bud Nationals after the championship. And then I won it in '96. That's when I bought that posse car for Poppenhausen, one with the billboards on it.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the Bud National wasn't a billboard race. But so that's the one that I built my first new interior and body for it over at Henry's Race Prep in '95. I built it in there. And so my first race was the Bud Nationals. And me and Dutton took it out there on a Thursday or Wednesday out there and ended up using the track. We just turned a couple laps in it. And it was after they ran a motocross race the weekend before.
Uh-huh.
There's still almost a berm coming out of turn 2. Around, you jump over the berm a little bit. And, but just to shake it down, found an oil leak, whatever. And then went out there and won the Bud Nationals, the first 50. There's sprint 50s. Won the first one. Second one, I was third going for second. And the car spun in front of me. And it took me out. And Pappenhausen won the second one. So that car's chassis swept the Bud Nationals.
Yeah.
That was '96. Then I drove the Bud Nationals for Severson in his car. I drove the Bud Nationals for Steve Morgan. Remember Steve Morgan? He's the guy. He was like the service, the parts guy, whatever, for Taft Chevrolet when they used to have that.
Mm-hmm.
He always had a nice rig. And anyway, I ran the Bud Nationals with him, but we always had, Bud National type problems.
Right.
So it's a lot of laps, but yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things, so we're talking a little bit more pro stock stuff, and we'll branch out to just different drivers and different stuff. The Smith guys. One thing that's one of Chris Smith's thing, he's just never ever been able to get that freaking Bud Nationals, and that's been his freaking thorn in the side. And then
His kid gets it.
His kid gets it. That was right where I was going with it. I was like, oh, then Ryan gets in there. I mean, from your eyes, like Ryan and I probably are not that far apart in age, but like for me, I was like, Ryan's young. He was really, really young when I was, when he was around, when I was around, and like when you saw me when I was around, you're probably like, snot nosed kid, and I was like, kind of same kind of mentality me towards him. But to see what he's doing, man, he's freaking building bodies, and he's doing really nice stuff. He's doing chassis stuff. He's got his next level fabrication thing. He's like setups and all that kind of stuff. It's like, man, these freaking kids, they stick around this stuff long enough. They actually make something out of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, no, he went all in with it.
Exactly.
He was so interested in it, and yeah, he's done great. He really does good. Chris is trying too hard for the Bud National. That's the thing. When you try, just like I've tried for any damn good race at Bakersfield since the Bud Nationals. But it's bit my ass every time. When I won the Bud Nationals, I was just racing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't my prime goal. When I won the first Bud Nationals, there was 49 late models showed up that
wow,
and I got fast time. The 96, there was 45 late models showed up that some bitch, and I got, I think, fourth fast time. Either way, both of them I was qualified into the next night's dash for a starting position. I wasn't expecting all that shit.
Right.
Then as I went along. And now if I won a couple, you kind of really want to, win one. I wanted that damn guitar. I didn't have that guitar when but since I wanted it, I can't finish one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so it kind of works that way on shit like that. You go to a new track. Every time we go to a new track, we do very well at a new track. The first time we went to Ely, Nevada, in a 355 cubic inch, 18-degree motor that I've always ran. Went over there, and that was a race against Colorado and Oregon and California. It was a big race.
This was recently.
This was when was that? It was in that Rayburn.
Oh no, sorry. So
it's when I went. It was that Carolina Clash, California Clash deal.
Yep.
I got fifth in the championship on that deal, and the only reason we went up there, the California Clash towed my car up there. I said, I got an open trailer, I can't, and a half-ton truck. 50 miles from Utah. It's way the hell up there. So they said, well, they go, man, you're running 50 points, and they said, we'll tow you up there. And I said, well, shit, I'll do that. So we cruised up there in my truck, and we broke the track record. We made the dash both nights. We won the heat race one night, second in the heat race another night, fifth in the main event one night, and fourth another night. I mean, and we wasn't expecting nothing. We just showed up to get the points.
Right.
It was amazing. I mean, if they had that race today, we went up there, I probably wouldn't even qualify for the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it seems like when we go to a new place and you're not expecting nothing from yourself, at least with me, it works out better. I seem to win my first time at racetracks more than, repeats.
So like when you start putting the pressure on yourself, and
I think so.
Pressure on yourself, you're just like,
I believe
overdrive.
Yeah,
you overthink it. Just the whole.
It's
thing.
a big deal. It really is. And I'm sure Chris could tell you the same damn thing. It's just because shit. He's led those Bud Nationals, and something stupid happens at the end.
Yeah. Well, he was doing great. I mean, the last Bud Nationals I was there, he was up there. He was running good.
Yeah, top three the whole night. Yeah.
Motor problems or this problems and that problems. Like, shit, man. It's like I just know how bad he wanted one of those, and
yeah, that's the way.
We got to find somebody with a bunch of money, and then just
money don't help.
No.
Bunch of money don't help.
To open that sucker back up and let me run it, and then we can.
Okay, yeah. I say, man, more money you pour in it, man. That sure ain't the downfall.
No. But because the Bud Nationals, I mean,
that's a tough gig.
In my mind, it's the Bud Nationals are.
Yeah,
they're different at the new track. Everything at that new track is different.
Right here,
it's not bad. I'm not throwing shade. I wouldn't throw shade. It's not. It's just different. It's just different.
Doesn't have the same vibe.
Yeah. So, but that's that track here. Let's focus on Santa Maria. It focuses.
I always want to focus on Santa Maria.
Well, one thing that I'm looking forward to is those August nights here when 105, 108, 100. We're going over there to. It might be 68 degrees on a high, and
well, you
your
remember
jacket.
that? You remember the dually? We had no air conditioning in that sucker.
Oh yeah,
and we would all be in the sweatshop all the way till we got to the bridge.
Yep.
Every time we get to that bridge, Skinny would roll the windows down, and it's like air conditioner. Shit, yeah, that's how we. Yeah, he'd shake his hands out there. We had that. Remember that Julie was so old. They had that vent, the wing window deal, and blow that stuff on you. But what a difference, man, when you get over there. Like you said, just go over there to cool off and take the race car with you.
Yeah.
That place is something about that place. I love that place.
So have you seen? So you've raced on it. You raced on it last year. It was kind of a growing stage last year because it was fresh back in the business.
Right.
It was. I know. In the beginning of the year it was rough because the track was, well, there was new clay, new surface. Just didn't quite know how to prep it, and it was it was rough. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was rough, but towards the end of the year, man, that thing got freaking. Ravi Claiborne.
Oh yeah,
dialed that place.
Yes, he did, big time. Yeah, that last race we ran was October 4th, I think, and it was a racy ass track, man. It really was. I mean, we were running on the bottom, then we get there and running against the fence. I mean, there was easily 2 grooves, sometimes 3.
Right.
That's all a guy can ask for, really.
So yeah, we've had one race so far this year. It was a 305 sprint car.
How was the track?
Track was money. It was
Really?
it was technical slick on the bottom.
Wet slick? Like greasy?
Nope, not greasy.
Oh, dry.
Kind of dry. That's one thing that's completely different than what I remember back. I mean, back in the day, it was like you could barely walk across the thing without losing shoes.
Yep.
So now it was a little. It wasn't dusty or dry. I mean, it wasn't crumbly slick. It was just
hard slick.
Hard slick. And then from center up, it progressively got a little more. It wasn't rough, but there was character to where if you got up into the good stuff,
you get the side bite.
You better be free enough to get through it.
Right.
But there's all kinds of traction up there.
Right.
So it was a perfect meld of it's risk reward. You want to go up top and try to rip the lip, and
at least you had a choice. It ain't nothing worse than having a one groove track with no choice.
And this was there was 12 sprint cars, and there was 15, 16 California Lightning sprints, which those cars are bad fast.
Yeah.
But they're not quite as you can't quite move them around so much if there's something with character on it, because those things will want to
lose the power out,
lose the power, flip over. They're just smaller, tighter cars. Dwarf cars were good. I mean, it was just the track was money for right out of the gate for the first race of the year. I was like, we're going in the right direction for sure. But that was where I was kind of going with it. What was the difference from like back in the day when it was like so hooked up to like to more what it is now?
Back that track was the only time that track would ever get dry slick would be at the end of the year. The last race would be double points and 50 lapper, I think it was, and opposed to our 30 lapper, 50 lapper, double points, and it would get slick about the last 15, 20 laps maybe. Other than that, we never seen slick tracks, you know what I'm saying? Unless we go to Bakersfield. You go to Bakersfield and there's a different world because it was nothing but dry slick, right? But that track was known to be so fast and so hooked up, but you bring home 300 or 400 pounds of clay after the race, after towing away, back to Bakersfield after it's shaken off. We'd still bring 3 buckets full of clay back, and but God, it's just a different world back then. And then seems like back then the track would even get a little bit tackier in the main event when the fog starts to come in.
Right.
I don't know if it still does. I think now the track typically is gone to the dry side before then, and then it just makes it greasy. You know what I'm saying? But when it stayed tacky and it get moisture, it just get more tackier.
Right.
I mean, we won a lot of main events with right rear heavy.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody's mentality was, we 30 lap main event, we better put some turns in it, and then they're pushing, and we just fly right around them. We had to have my shit loose because I always had no horsepower. When these other guys were running, 395s and 410 cubic inch all aluminum motors, I still had my 355 18-degree motor, and so you had to keep that thing loosened up. So never did you see me push. You know what I mean? The car would not push. I always had to keep it winged up. So if the track stayed tacky, I had an advantage. Those guys were all too tight to turn, So that's why I love Santa Maria so much.
So running the smaller motor with the big motor guys, what was something that you guys had to do? Was it a gearing thing that you just had to
stay loose? Keep it loose.
It was just keep the car free.
You bogged it down, just like getting out of the draft, man. You just, So I had to keep it winged up. I wouldn't necessarily turn a lot of RPMs, on that aspect of it. Just I ran less cross than anybody else ran, by far. And you can see guys just tightening those suckers up before the main event, filling them full of fuel. There's times we've gone out there with half a tank of fuel, you know what I'm saying, and not tighten nothing up, and end up being right rear heavy, which is unheard of, you know. At least back then. I don't know what they're doing now, but no, it paid off, you know. And when I ran that Rayburn, if it was kind of slick, but then had some rough spots, I'd have to aim for the rough spots. You catch that right rear,
With the traction right there.
Yeah,
and
then you launch right that swing arm. With a 4-bar, you catch a rut, it pulls your front wheel off the ground. So that's what got Barrel that one night. He was bouncing. He was turning 5 times on the front stretch. And I was just gliding over like a boat, you know, going over the damn thing. So it was just you just drive differently with what you have, and that's the way I always was with the lack of horsepower. Then when I got a lot of horsepower, I burned the tires off, and we kept, you know, tightening it up more and more and more, and it got fast. But it was hard to learn to tighten your shit up when so many years you had to keep it loose.
Right. So that's kind of one of the things, like when Lee Jensen was running that that Pro Stock, the Larry's Pro Stock, when Larry just wanted to put some more bar to it, keep tighten it up, and Lee was like, "No, heck no, take that out of there. Like, keep the freaking tires on the ground, and let's motor this. Let's motor this thing. I could drive it if you just let me drive it. Don't try to freaking put too much car to it, and then I'm about to lunch."
No, you can drive a loose car. You can't drive a tight car. You know,
I think one of the probably the back in the young years when Kirkpatrick was running the was it AJ,
yeah, the late model.
AJ run his late model.
Yep.
He was the first one I saw that almost flipped over just going down the back straight.
Him and Rackenback.
Yes,
the guys always had the shit so tight that they caught a rut, they'd flip on the side.
Yeah, it as a fan and as a young kid, I'm like, oh my god, that's so good! Look at that thing bringing. No, he's got to be the most blazing fast. He's out qualified P8, P10.
Yeah, no. Believe it or not, 4 wheels on the ground is faster than 3 wheels. I mean, it looks great for pictures.
Right,
it does look great. It's, you know, when you got the left rear up and so high that you can't even see the car down below you, it's a recipe for disaster. It really is.
Well, that picture. So I asked you to send me some pictures and stuff for the thumbnail and stuff for this thing, and you sent me the red car.
Oh, the Rayburn, I'll wheel it up. Yeah.
Just all the way full send. I was like, you had to hit something.
No, dude, that son of a bitch coming out of turn. That picture was coming out of turn 2 for qualifying, and I got the other picture of it, same lap, entering 3, and it's still just as high. It carried the whole distance around there, and I don't think the swing arm Rayburns were supposed to do that. But we were breaking shit every week. We had a weld on the pole bars and shit and it was a chrome ollie chassis, and it would crack. So we was having to add welds all the time because that thing was flexing so much. And it was bitching. But you got to understand, when we'd buy cars back then, when we'd buy late models from back east, they'd sell them after a full season.
Right.
Well, they run 70 or 80 races in a season.
You're right.
You know, it takes us 10 years to run that many races out here. So when we get the cars, it's new to us. It's only a year-old car, but it's already been, you know, stressed.
Right.
And that's the way this one was. This one ran a lot out here with that red one's the one that Eric Jacobson had as a backup car, and he loaned it to Mike Johnson, and Mike Johnson won like 10 or 11 races in a row till he finally took it back from him because he was beating him, you know. And he wanted to buy that car bad. They wouldn't sell it to him. They sold it to me, and I won a bunch of races with it. I mean, a lot of races with that sucker. But we took the body off of it. We was going to take it over to Victory Circle, having them put a rear clip on it, 4-bar combo car. We took the body off that sucker, the halo off of it. I mean, you know, the roof off of it, and all 4 corners of the halo was cracked. That thing would have rolled over off my trailer, would have killed me. That's why she's flexing so much, you know what I'm saying? And so we took it over to Victory Circle, and they go, sorry, we ain't got nothing to attach to a new clip to. This is junk. So I had to throw it away, man, and I bought a new one from them guys, and I never did run it. I mean, it was too nice of a car. I said, I won't get into it. I've never had it new in my life, you know. I'll be too scared to run the damn thing.
Yeah.
So I traded my buddy Dean Moore in Colorado, Grand Junction, for it, and he towed it out here in the first race and won the Bud National with it.
Wow.
It was a beautiful car, forced orange powder-coated chassis. Brad Pounds was working there at the time, did the interior and body. It was a beautiful car. But I just knew that I would never wheel it like I should, knowing this all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to be you're going to get hurt if you're going to be tentative on something.
That's right.
If you're not going like, just drive it like it needs to be driven, and just, you're going to get hurt. You're going to break. You're going to tear something up.
You are.
You're going to push. You're going to knock the fence down. Then you're going to be real
by
pissed.
trying to be easy. You know?
Right.
And that's exactly it. You got to run those things on kill. Late models, you got to run on kill. That's why I think I was the only late model driver eating out of a lunchbox. You know, everybody else is, you know, very wealthy and business owners, and they had another one in the stacker. You know what I'm saying? That was always my only deal. And it's hard to run it on kill when
You're like, I want to race next week too.
that's right. And so, and honestly, you can't run that bitch unless you're on kill and be competitive.
Right.
So, and then that had a lot to do with weeding out the late models. You know, then you got down. You know, the late models only getting like 15 cars, and pretty soon 10 cars. When the millionaires are starting to complain about the cost of racing late models, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're going strong back in the Midwest. You get out of California, man, late model is strong.
What's the I mean, is there a price difference of parts and availability and everything here than back east? It's just there's just more sponsorship opportunities and people just love racing that much more back there. I don't get it.
I've been trying to understand it myself. Because man, those guys race Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday back there. You know, and back there where I'm at, there's I think there's 5 dirt tracks within 50 square miles to race that. And those guys you can race all the time. And the stands are full every night, whether it's Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Cost same to get in the stands, $25 get in the stands. Pit passes are 45, you know, maybe 50 like it is here.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows how the hell they able to do it. I mean, I don't know if they're all wealthy in the aspect that they could, you know, have that kind of budget to go racing, you know, but they do. I mean, and there's B mains at every racetrack.
That's
you know?
crazy.
That's
awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I could go right across the river there to Illinois, and then you know you got Fairbury and Farmer City and Quincy and there's so many racetracks. You know, Granite City. You know, there's Davenport. Iowa has one more dirt track more. They have the most dirt tracks in the nation. One more than Illinois. I think Illinois has 99 and Iowa has 100 or 99 to 98, just one track difference. So you can race and you got choices. I just don't know how you can afford to race.
Yeah.
Shit, it takes us a month to get the car ready from one race to the other if we don't turn nothing up. You know what I'm saying? And they just have the same 2 guys. It's not like there's giant crews.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're doing it for a living, but they're not because they're not racing for that much money. You know what I'm saying? Well, the War of Outlaws and Lucas guys, but it's all big sponsors.
Corporate. It's corporate.
It's a business.
That's a corporate business, a corporate thing. I mean, you're running a business of, you know, you have this advertising machine that goes out there and runs on a national level that just wins. I mean, that just.
I don't know what the numbers are on Flow or Dirt Vision, what their viewer numbers are, but it must be pretty high because they're getting some real good sponsors.
Right.
You know? And that makes a difference. That's all that.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing that on a small level.
Start somewhere.
Trying to start something like that. And then that's kind of the thing. Like Santa Maria and myself are just working together and trying to figure this out, figure out what it is and what it's worth and like how can we, you know, make this amazing?
Yep.
Make Santa Maria help them out, try to get more purse, get more cars, get more everything. So if we get more cars, we get more viewers, get more fans, we sell more hot dogs. It's just, I mean, it's just, it's just everything. It just can snowball into everything. We're just trying to figure out what that is because, I mean, it's working for Flow and it's working for these big places. But you know, we just need to figure out how to make it work for Santa Maria as well.
And there's definitely the market around that place. You know what I'm saying? That's such a awesome facility. And when it went away for 4 or 5 years, that's when people realized what they had all along. You know? And but it's such a great location, such a great facility. The new owners are doing an awesome job. That place is awesome.
Yeah, that fan experience thing, dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it is. So the little
fire pits, the sea trains.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go down there and have a beer, and you're right next to the cars. I mean, that is
that is definitely unique. get people interested in that again because, man, like you said, it's the only one along the coast right there. I mean, it's definitely got a market. Definitely got a market.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, I mean, people probably didn't really realize at Bakersfield Speedway that thing's never going to go away, right?
Right.
It's like, man, you know what? We don't have to go there this week. That place is never going anywhere.
Right.
It's been there for 79 years. It's not going anywhere, guys. You got to support your local track. I mean, it's been you know, it's kind of a cliche thing. You know, people, you see it all the time. Support your track. We say in the RC stuff. Support your RC track. You're gonna hate it when it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
No, it is.
Look how many tracks we've lost in California. In the last 5 years.
Right.
I mean, let alone you space it back to the Saugus days or the Saugus stuff. All that stuff. Lions. All the racing stuff. If you don't support it, it's gonna go away, and then you're gonna be like, man, I miss that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, yeah, I mean, when you had Hanford, you had Porterville, you had Bakersfield, you had Santa Maria. At one time they'd run Friday nights at Porterville, Saturday nights at Bakersfield, and on 3-day weekends they'd run Santa Maria on Sunday. I mean, it was a big deal, and I mean, I don't think the racers themselves has gone away from it, but like you said, the fan aspect of it did. With Bakersfield, when it's 110 degrees out on a Saturday afternoon, it's tough to be sitting out there in the bleachers. Santa Maria's got the most ideal weather conditions.
Yes,
especially in the summertime when you get half the valley come over here to cool off.
Well, they're already in Pismo. They're already at Harry's. Yep. And they're already because that's one thing that was going through my mind. I was like, how because I'm from Bakersfield. I was Speedway announcer for Bakersfield Speedway announcer for the last 8 years, and I was like, how can I bring more pop, just to Santa Maria? I'm like, well, what the heck am I talking about? Half